I want to give a shout out to my dog, A-Man01 says, everyone is entitled to their opinions and choices, but this is what happens when Pandora's box get open. You can't put that genie back in the bottle, big dog. You can't put that genie back in the bottle, big dog. All right, y'all, let's continue over with the show. We got a lot more to talk about. Let's go over the layoffs. So we're going to talk Indeed, and we're going to talk about Walmart. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it.
We're following a big story out of Northwest Arkansas that's making national and even international headlines.
So the Wall Street Journal reports Bentonville-based Walmart laying off hundreds of workers and restructuring in some areas. We have 4029's Chip Scarborough live in the newsroom to explain what we've learned so far. Chip.
Brandon Allison, the Wall Street Journal says corporate workers among the hundreds being laid off by the Bentonville-based retailer. The Journal reports the company is closing smaller offices in Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto, asking those workers to move to central hubs in either Bentonville, Hoboken, New Jersey, or Northern California. Of course,
who in their right mind? And I'm going to just ask y'all the question. And these are people that work for Walmart corporate, right? The home offices and stuff like that. Who over in Dallas or any of these other major cities want to move over to Bentonville, Central California, or New Jersey? Huh? Who? Somebody said I'm muted. No, I'm not. I'm not muted. See, I fixed my audio. I'm not muted. Y'all just don't have y'all audio turned up. Turn your audio up, big dog. There's something wrong with your headphones and your Bluetooth. Who in their right mind? Because Walmart, they ain't even tripping. They say, listen, we closing this office over here. We closing that office. We closing this office. Y'all can move to some more central locations in Bentonville.
this all comes right as Walmart is building a new state-of-the-art home office in Bentonville. I spoke to the chief economist and state economic forecaster at the Arkansas Economic Development Institute at the U of A in Little Rock about what all this means.
This is certainly not scaling back in order to save the business from disaster. No, this is clearly just a consolidation and a reprioritization of some of their administrative functions.
And the Wall Street Journal also says that most remote workers will have until July to decide whether to move to a hub or leave the company. 4029 News reached out to Walmart Corporate first thing this morning for more information, and we are waiting to hear back.
So, long story short, Walmart is saying that in their corporate offices in different cities, that's probably a little bit more ideal for people that want to live, especially over there in Dallas. They're basically saying, listen, fam, we going to go ahead and consolidate, and we building a bigger home office, so y'all going to have to relocate over to Bentonville, Hoboken. I don't even know what's in Hoboken, New Jersey. Let me see what's happening in New Jersey. So it's up there. So it's right across the street from New York. So it's not that bad. I'm just not sure what's over there. What's over in Hoboken? Got some cafes, got some pizza shops. So if y'all want to relocate to Hoboken and you work at Walmart, you can go to Roomba's Cafe. They got a Holiday Inn Express in Jersey City. And it's right across the street from New York, from Soho. All right? So y'all can go over there and hang out. And I don't know what's over there, but maybe y'all can do something a little bit more entertaining than what I see on this map in particular. So anyways, in addition to that, what's also happening in layoffs is Indeed. Now, I thought that this was a big joke that people was playing on me, but apparently it's not a joke that people are playing on me. Indeed is also, what is going on in Texas? Dallas, Austin, Houston, it's a lot of layoffs all around in Texas. Everybody moved over to Texas and everybody is getting laid off. But Indeed hit everybody with a surprise layoff also.
It just kind of came out of nowhere.
It was March 2023. Samuel Marino was a software engineer at Indeed for about 8 years.
My email finally came through that said I was impacted.
He was one of more than 2,000 people laid off.
I was naive and thinking that it wouldn't happen just because the company had been around for a while and hadn't resorted to that before.
But a year later, the CEO of Indeed announced they're cutting another 1,000 people, including some in Austin.
Hey, imagine that you working for the place that actually helps you find a job and you lose your job. Man, that's got to be a sad day. I wouldn't even want to go home that day. I would just go to the bar. Probably if I got laid off on a Wednesday, that Thursday and that Friday, I would act like I still got to go to work. I would go and just, take some day trips or go to Cedar Point or something like that. If I got laid off from the place that helps you find a job and they didn't already have a job lined up for me because that's what they did professionally, if I got laid off from the place that actually helps me find a job on a Wednesday, because that's when they got the announcement is on a Wednesday, I would literally act like I still had a job on Thursday and Friday. And then I would come back on Saturday and tell my family, hey, man, I ain't got no job. Dog, I couldn't imagine getting laid off from the place that actually helps you find a job. You telling me you can't help me find a job before you lay me off? That's what we do. That's what we do. Now, the economists and the Biden administration is going to tell you that jobs is plentiful. Jobs is plentiful. You can go and work you at McDonald's. You can go have you a good time. But the people over there in Indeed is telling you differently. They laying off 1,000 people from their own place.
Apparently, Indeed was always looking for, what the next product was and everything. I remember all the initiatives just being about one product or another, trying to get it going and see if it's a moneymaker. So I would just speculate that they're just not making enough.
The CEO said the cuts last year were because of a cool down in the overall job market and demand for its technology. He says the layoffs this time are to simplify the organization, to make it easier and faster to make decisions and help to more effectively grow revenue and hires.
It seemed like the CEO jumped the gun.
Legislation requires businesses with 100 or more full-time workers to issue a warn notice 60 days before a plant closure or mass layoff.
I don't know if Indeed's in compliance with the WARN Act, the way they've arbitrarily done this. So they're going to probably face significant litigation.
Timmons.
Do you think that they would use Indeed to find another? You got to find a new job. And I'm wondering, are you bitter? Would you be bitter? Would you only use a competitor's site in order to be able to find another job? That's all I'm asking. If you was working at Indeed and you got laid off, would you then use Indeed to be able to find another job? That's all I'm asking. How do you navigate that? Like, how do you come to? You need therapists for that? Go to Monster. There's a lot of other job sites. Y'all said Indeed is trash. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me get it from another perspective and see what's happening.
Nearly 1,000 Indeed employees are without jobs. Some of them right here in Austin. We told you.
Now, okay, so listen. Wait a minute. So this is what I was telling y'all, and I want y'all to pay attention. Because listen, y'all always say I'm getting distracted, but this is the perfect opportunity because we never get a chance to really highlight different newscasters or the news ladies in full-fledged uniform, right? So we only see them behind the desk. A lot of times we see them on the street, like my girl Mew go over there in Chicago, getting it in, working out. So we only see them from the neck up. We don't get to see, chance to see the knees. So right now, she's got her knees back. So they're locked backwards. So it's like an elephant right now, right? And so I tell y'all all the time that some of the context clues to really understand about women. So for example, we always say, oh man, she don't look or she's younger than she really is. And her face could be beaten, all of that. Well, you check the neck, right? And so the neck will tell you her real age because most of the time people don't get neck straighteners. You know what I'm saying? They don't get the neck skin stuff. They only get Botox up here or the skin stretchers on their forehead. They don't really get you know what I'm saying? They don't get the neck. So you want to check the neck because often at times they don't do makeup on the neck also. So the neck tells you their true complexion, if their face is real beat, and it can tell you the true age of who she is. And what did I tell y'all before? Come on, y'all. Come on. What did I say? Neck, elbows, knees. Neck, elbows, knees. You got it, Joe Gunn. See, no, that's how I know y'all be paying attention. Let me get a round of applause for the chat. Let me get a round of applause for the chat. So neck, elbow, knees. So if we're evaluating this young lady right here, and we're trying to determine whether or not she's a quality woman just from aesthetics, right? Because we can't go. Can I please get my $30 million? I promise. Look, I know that I was being absolutely positively, disagreeable earlier to the corporate infrastructure. And I know some of y'all producers are watching because I met one of y'all the other day. Well, actually, it was like 2 weeks ago. It was like, Anton, we watch you. Honest to God, I couldn't believe it. They said, Anton, we watch you. And it was all dressed up and it was going into the news station and stuff like that. And it was on public transportation. I was catching public transportation. They said, yeah, we live right down here or whatever. They said, we watch you. I said, who is we? He said, me and my producers and stuff. We love your show. We watch you. Then it was an older black guy. And I said, oh, thank you. And I was thinking to myself, well, which show is they watching? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it was watching the Millionaire Morning Show. I know I was getting a little bit out of order earlier, and I know I said that I was going to do what I want to do and I wanted to stay independent, but I would really like my $30 million. And I promise, if you give me $30 million, I will not talk about women's necks. I won't talk about their elbows. I won't go into their knees. I won't objectify them. I won't crack stupid jokes. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm lying like a mug, too. You know why they can't give me $30 million? Let me tell y'all why they can't give me $30 million. And we're going to go back into this deep conversation because I don't want to get too distracted. I promise y'all I wouldn't tell too many jokes during this live stream and that we will stay focused. This is why it probably is not going to work. Because I'm going to do something that probably voids the other $28 million. I'm going to get $2 and I'm going to work through $2 million of the contract, and then it's just going to go off the rails. I'm going to listen to your car. I'm going to be paying attention to Tia. I'm going to look at Azriel. I'm going to be paying attention to Slimmy, R Streets, Messy. They going to throw me a message, and then I'm going to go off the rails, and I say I want to still stay. You know what I'm saying? Real to my crew. And then we all going to be right back here doing the same thing that we was. So, all right, forget y'all. I don't care nothing about y'all. Keep your little stanking $30 million. I ain't want it anyway. I only said that to see what you was going to say. Keep your little $30 million. You wasn't going to give it to me anyway, so.
The job search engine announced mass layoffs yesterday.
Studies show this is part of a growing trend. Mass firings are happening in Austin. As KXAN's Sarah Alshe reports, even in a city booming with tech businesses, it's just not easy finding a job.
More rounds of layoffs in a little over a year. The Austin-based company Indeed announced it's firing 1,000 people. This coming not long after their last round of layoffs in 2023. 2,200 people lost their job then. According to a study by the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, Austin saw more mass layoffs last year compared to before the pandemic, up by more than 14%. The study says tech downsizing contributed to that. The layoffs follow a period of time when the tech sector ramped up hiring during the pandemic.
Some of these companies that may have added additional labor force are now going back and really just course correcting to the size of their organization.
In the letter, Indeed's CEO says last year's layoffs were for cost-saving measures. Even though it helped, he says the company is still not set up for sustainable growth.
It's a tough time to be a technology worker right now. You face a real surplus in the labor market.
Workforce Solutions Capital Area says the industry is tight right now.
We're seeing much more limited opportunities available.
Oh, I know why you got laid off. Because you got that bull nose ring in corporate America and your hair ain't combed. Look, man, everybody getting laid off. It's tough out here in these streets. Y'all going to have to get a whole nother thing that you got going on because, you know, box is going for cheap. The government keeps saying it's a whole lot of jobs. Immigrants is coming over here and Indeed is laying off and you can't even use the software to find another job. Something is wrong. Something is seriously wrong. We don't care nothing about that. A.R. Smitty.